Hey guys, how's it going? Now today I want to do a rant video and I'm going to be settle down camera. I feel like we got some movement here. My tripod's a little shaky, so I apologize. But today I want to do a video, and this is going to be a rant video, and this is going to be a video that I am directing to fellow Monkee fans. You can be a casual Monkee fan and watch this video as well, but I'm speaking mostly to hardcore Monkee fans. For me, and I'm only talking about myself personally, Davy Jones comes very close to ruining the Monkees for me. I don't hate every single Davy Jones songs on the Monkees albums, but I would say I hate 90% of them, and maybe that's a little too high. Maybe 85% of them, let's say. But I just feel like Davy should have been the Ringo. And I know Peter was the Ringo, but at least Peter had some musical talent. He couldn't sing for shit, but still, you know, he'd written some decent songs. His voice, like I say, wasn't the greatest, but, you know, they should have really treated Davy like the Ringo, where we'll give Davy one, maybe two songs per album if you're good and you behave yourself. But when you've got a songwriter like Michael Nesmith, and to an extent Mickey Dolenz, who was a very solid songwriter, some of my favorite Monkee songs were actually written by Mickey Dolenz. But you have a stellar songwriter like Mike Nesmith who has to make way for some absolute garbage Davy Jones songs on some of these Monkees albums. Monkees albums that could have been brilliant. Maybe brilliant is the wrong word to use, but could have been excellent Monkee albums. And the Davy Jones songs, fortunately in the CD era, I could just skip right over them, or I can skip right over them, but it was a lot harder to do back in the days when there was just vinyl or cassette as your format. So anyway, today I want to talk about 5 Davy Jones songs that ruin the Monkees for me. I'm always going to be a Monkees fan, but I just wish things had gone down differently in terms of the Monkees' history and which songs made it onto Monkee albums. And I know in the early albums, they didn't really have much of a choice, and I don't have a whole lot of issue. To be honest, the first 4 Monkee albums, I like probably more Davy Jones songs than I hate, but there's still a large percentage that I hate. The later albums are where it just becomes too much, and somebody should have stepped in and said, no, we are not putting this garbage on the album. But anyway, hear me out. Okay, so Exhibit A, more of the Monkees, The Day We Fall in Love. Now, if you're a Monkees fan, you already know this song. You know Davy's spoken word, where he's whispering sweet nothings into all his teenage fans' ears in the middle of that song. It's just unlistenable. And there's not a single redeeming quality about it. There just isn't. It is so blatantly pandering to the teenage girl fan base. It's really nauseating to listen to. So that is my first one. Now I got 2 picks off this. I love this album with the exception of the Davy Jones songs. Daydream Believer, yes, is on here, but frankly, I'm sick of Daydream Believer. If I never hear Daydream Believer again, I will die a happy man. So let's talk about the album opener. Now, for every Monkee album up to this point, we had pretty much an up-tempo rock song. First album, you had Theme for the Monkees. Second album, you had She. Third album, you had You Told Me. Fourth album, you had Salesman. And then, for some inexplicable reason, whoever sequenced this album thought, let's put a Davy Jones song on here that sounds like it could be on a daytime TV, soap opera, or game show. I'm talking about Dream World. Dream World is a piece of shit song. Doesn't belong on here. You got the harpsichord, the cheesy harpsichord. You got the horns. Everything about it just screams like he's playing to and I wasn't around back then, but I got to imagine like the average person, the average adult in their 30s and 40s, it sounds like he's playing to. Garbage song. And I can imagine buying this album back in the day, putting it on the turntable, all excited for what you're going to hear, and then that comes out of the speakers, and you're like, what the hell? And then it's redeemed because the second song is Annie's Municipal Court, which is a Michael Nesmith composition with Mickey Dolenz on vocals. And you're like, okay, we're back on track. You know, we got things moving in the right direction. That song fades out, and I'll be damned if the next song isn't We Were Made for Each Other, which again is absolute horse shit. I am sorry. It's not this. It's too cheesy to even be a wedding song. It's so smothered in strings, smothered in Davy Jones over emoting. I mean, it's like a 70s, like I said, a 70s soap opera theme. It's terrible. Honorable mention on this album is the poster. I think poster is terrible. I think it's just a ripoff of Being for the Benefit of Mr. Kite, but that one's not technically on my list. But the one that is, don't listen to, there's actually 3 on here, so I'm going to cheat and say 6 Davy Jones songs that ruin the Monkees, because this is possibly the worst album to feature any Davy Jones material on here. And I know You and I is on here, and I know Neil Young plays guitar on it, so that is pretty cool. But the rest of the stuff on here is just, it's migraine inducing. So we have Don't Listen to Linda. Again, sounds like it should be the theme for a 70s game show. Awful, terrible. And I know he didn't write it, but there are earlier versions of this which I hate less. But it's still a song that I absolutely cannot stand. And then on side 2, The Girl I Left Behind Me. How? Why?
You told me not to try and tie you down.
We already got You and I. Me Without You is fine. I don't particularly care for it, but I can tolerate it. Why do we have, and I know they're down to 3 here, but again, Michael Nesmith was a prolific songwriter. Why isn't there more Mike Nesmith on here? But no, we got to have all these ridiculous Davy Jones songs. A Man Without a Dream.
Of life, my soul is out.
Unconscionable that made it onto this album. I love Mickey's songs on here. I think Mike's songs are great. I mean, if you got to have representation from Davy Jones, take some stuff from 66, 67 that were maybe more up-tempo rockers. But this housewife soap opera themed music that Davy Jones comes out with is just so nauseating to me. So that's my list. Honestly, you know, I could pick apart Changes. There's some Changes stuff on here, but anyway, I just needed to do this rant because every time I listen to a Monkees album, it's like, oh God, here's the Davy Jones song, you know, skip. But anyway, let me know what you think. Am I out of line? Does that make me not an authentic Monkees fan because I'm not all on board with every single Davy Jones song? Let me know, and have a great day.